Little warning though, for all you RAL combo players out there, please play it more like a burn deck instead of a combo deck, and you're going to love your deck a lot more. It's cute to sell yourself for combo. It's also great to have a solid burn deck that has a backup plan. Shameless plug to our YouTube video that we did. We actually made our RAL Is It Win combo. We call it the expansion Winsplosion combo. I recommend you go check that over out on YouTube. It's not a super long video. You get the deck tech in the first like 2 minutes, so if you just go spring in, watch the first 2 minutes of it, you'll get to see all of its glory. But we definitely went more burn heavy, so we actually had other ways to win. Okay, so we don't know what they're playing. We get 2 draws by the time we hit turn 2. We only have 24 lands. Statistically, one of the next 2 cards should be a land. So we're going to risk keep this, though normally you shouldn't. And if we get punished, we get punished. Okay, so there was brick 1. So statistically, the next card should be a land. I don't even care if it's a colorless land, because then we at least have search for a Scansa. Oh. We'll play our Surge too, since they're tapped out. The hand information would be nice, but there's going to be so much unknown information because of Search that I feel like the Search is just better first. So if Search can find us a land next turn, I think what we're going to do is, depending on what their next land is. Okay, so they are on Esper. What in the hell? Been that. Well, we did brick, so hopefully Hero Thought Erasure will find us something. Well, they're gonna find the lands for their Karn. So I think we'll just let their Teferi. So we'll let them keep their veto. This is a very good card out of the new set. It's a much stronger negate. I will say though, in the couple decks I've tested it in so far, it's hard sometimes having upright blue-white on turn 2. I mean, clearly it's a better negate, but... Okay, so that doesn't actually feel too bad for us there. We're just going to throw our Narset, because they're tapped out.
I train and keep an open mind.
We're just going to take the Ugin right away. So now that they can't draw extra cards, we've shut off their Teferis. We've shut off their Chemist's Insights. Right now our hand sucks, so it's not really too bad if they look at it. Though I think if they don't pluck the Karn, and we find a land, I think this game probably just snowballs. Because then we have guaranteed card advantage every turn. Well, I guess they have a way to stop it right now. But we're going to minus her here just because this deck doesn't necessarily deal damage. So we will have this interplay tapped. So at the end of their turn, we're going to try to blink back, I think, our Narset to reset the counters. Is that worth it? I'm going to say it is. So we're going to target our Narset. We're going to see if they counter that. Okay, so the Obnixilis here really isn't a good boy. So we're going to try to throw the Karn first, seeing as how the Narset versus this deck is stronger. Okay, kind of odd they let us keep the Karn. I figured they might have countered that. Either way, we're getting another land, which is great. And do not underrate the power of Obnixilis. In these matchups, the -2 does nothing to destroy a creature, but pinging them every time they draw a card is everything you could ever want in life.
Those who cannot perceive beyond the veil, meditate and prepare.
Okay. So they played their Narset while we have a Plaguecrafter in hand. I'm not really sure if that's just because they're trying to dig or not. So we're going to try to throw the Plaguecrafter first. We're just going to let the Plaguecrafter go.
Well chosen.
Seeing how they have the mana for Veto right now, we're just going to sit. I'm not going to lie, like, if we lose this deck, I might feel a little bad just because they are playing all the interplay tap lands, which tells me they don't actually have their mana base done. But that was one of the big reasons why we actually went. We're going to try to throw the negate here. Because I'm sure they're going to fight us over that. So let's just take up Karn again here.
You may regret that choice.
If you give us the Field of Ruin, we're just going to shoot their Escanta right away. Okay, so we're going to try to throw the Obnixilis now. We really want them to just blow their Dovins. And I feel like there's so many weird cards we have in this deck. Okay.
I adore wading through the bones of civilization. Suffer the dreams of the damned.
Come out, Obnoxious. Do your job, buddy. Okay, so I guess we're going to let them try to counter this.
Decisive action is needed.
Because we just want... Now we're going to wait. Because we want to shoot their Field of Ruin.
I am your inner demon.
And if they want to get one more use out of it, it doesn't feel too bad just because we got the 2 Eldritch Reborns, the Vraska's Contempt, we got the Sinister Sabotage. So we're not feeling too bad. They have 2 cards in hand, so we're actually going to try to Sinister Sabotage that. Just because if they do stick a Planeswalker, we really don't care right now. That can sit on top of our deck. So we're going to plus Karn here. Hopefully he finds us a land. I didn't want to do that, but that I guess is okay.
Say hello to my little
Mistakes were made. Ripskis, dipskis, lipskis. So at the end of their turn, they're probably going to use their... I feel like they have to. That's true, I did not double throw and Mick cheats. I don't think you can cheat on this though.
Knowledge is not without price.
And if you can, I haven't seen it done yet. So we're just gonna shoot their Search for Escanta now, or their Field of Ruin. Yes, it does thin their deck of a card. But what do we need here? I think we're pretty good on everything, so I guess we'll just take a Swamp. Okay, so we're just gonna try to exile that before anything else. Hopefully they don't have the counter magic.
You just let me know
Okay.
if you're up for round 2. Hold that thought.
That is the real good quality.
Suffer
Yes.
the dreams of the damned.
That can be binned. That can transform.
The choices we make reveal who we are.
We're kind of hoping here they actually give us the land. Again, you know, every time they give us the land, we never really feel bad about it. Look at that clock.
It is just
Maybe League of Legends? What about League of Legends? So what's normal in this match? Up next to the list, the boring faced. Just does a massive amount of work if they let it sit. We're gonna try to sunken rune here. We'll take the Thought Erasure, seeing how the Thoughts doesn't really do much. That is true. We're not gonna go too crazy on the making of creatures though, just because I'm sure by now they either have their cast downs in hand or something. And if they really want to kill our token, like, that's fine. You got it. So we're gonna Thought Erase them. Well, seeing how they have 2 board wipes, we are clearly no longer making tokens for a while here. Actually, no, you know what? We are gonna make tokens because let's make them blow their cards.
try not to think too hard.
I mean, all they have left is Cry, and we Sinister Sabotage that. And I think we're just off to the races now. I know this deck's not super exciting to watch. Y'all can be mad at me. But this deck, I don't know. It's cute. It's not good, it's cute. We're gonna make another token now, because each token buffs the other token.
There is great power in the keys we make.
So let's just try to shrink the board as much as possible for him here. They're dead next turn if they can't kill our tokens.
I am your inner demon.
We're just gonna counter that. Okay. So I don't love the cast downs. Again, you leave the Triumph. You always have to respect they have something good. I don't like the Tyrant Scorns here very much. Take those out. Playcrafter's fine. Narset's fine. The Blink of an Eye is just kind of okay. We're going to take the Ritual of Soots out, assuming they don't have any weird plays to go wide on us here. We're going to bring in our Unembered Egos, usually naming Teferi, get rid of their draw engine, they lose. The Duresses are good as well, and so are the Disdainful Strokes. The Ashioks don't do much here, just because they don't really search their libraries, and Ashiok into Field of Ruin is not that great. It does shut off their Jumpstart cards, but normally they only play the one, so it doesn't really matter too much. Thief of Sanity I like, but most decks expect you to bring them in. The only creature we really need is our Ugin. Oh, I guess our Enter the God Eternals here is actually pretty bad too. I guess we'll bring in one Ashiok. Just because it's kind of a mill train, I suppose, at that point. But I know they're probably going to leave in some removal cards. So let's make the removal cards as dead as humanly possible. Let me live the dream. Turn 1 Duress. Turn 2 Thought Erasure. Risky keep. We have 2 turns to find a blue source. We're going to try it. Ah. Now that's fine, because they're either going to take our Thought Erasure, which I'm sure they should do, or if they don't have the counter magic, they're going to take the Unemerald Ego. Because if you Ego their Teferi, usually that deck gets very sad. Come on, let us top another one right now. The gates are actually okay as well here. Now that they know we have the ego, they have to kind of play cautiously. Or they're just going to let their freak flag fly and not care. Then in hand, take all 3 out of their deck. And their hand is really bad versus us. So, I mean, they have the veto, but that's okay. I wouldn't say it's a turn 3 win, but looking at their hand, the Mortify doesn't do too much. The board wipe really does nothing. Unless they were so afraid of what Karn could do. So we're just going to play the Karn here. We know they're going to counter it, but that leaves things like our Eldritch Reborn and Vraska's Contempt to be uncontested. Also, side note, we really didn't look through their deck because, quite frankly, I didn't care at that point. I don't feel like we have too much to worry about here. Now it's just finding lands. And just waiting. Well, actually knowing that this isn't very good, we're actually just going to throw this here. Wow, their hand must be awful right now. We know they can mortify it, but that's fine. That means when we draw our search for Escanta, hopefully that just sticks and stays on board. I mean, our hand's not great right now, so if they want to pick this apart, that's fine. We have 2 ways to deal with almost anything in their deck. Probably being a regular Esper control list. I mean, the only weird thing they could have in their deck is Chromium. And even then we really don't care just because we have the Liliana's Triumph to make them sack it. So now this is actually just going to be a really boring game for a little while here. We have to try to get something going. Clearly we're not with these draws, but that's okay. Does it matter? I guess we're just going to try to counter this. Just so we can get through our deck. Because at this point we're looking for our Planeswalkers. I'd almost be happy with any of them. We have more than enough in there. Something good. How about a swamp? Okay, so now we're flooding here. So we're allowing them to build their hand up. We might actually lose this game, and there's nothing we can do about that, but that's okay. Yeah, Plague Crafter doesn't do anything here either. Seeing how we actually were able to remove all their Teferis, I don't think our Plague Crafters do anything anymore. Like I said, unless they have a Chromium. I promise you, though, this deck is very strong. It's just very convoluted. This deck is all over the place. I love it. At some point, they're going to have to try to jam something. I don't make promises very often, but this deck has been so good for us so far. It does have games like this, though, where you draw all your creature hate pieces for a deck that really doesn't have them. But you have to respect the fact that they could have things like Chromium. You know, who knows what they could have potentially boarded in. They could have brought in the 5-mana 5/5 Lifelink Angel. They could have brought in Angel of Grace. So you always got to kind of respect the fact that they could. Even though normally it's just things like Thief of Sanity. Become the Ark, survive the flood. Okay, so we're going to try to see here if we can just touch their hand at all. Okay, so their hand is still just trash. Like, we're just going to take the Lily because this thing is an absolute beating. versus us. The fact that it continually makes tokens is disgusting. The draw engine it provides is disgusting. This card's... At first I looked at this and thought it was bad. Nah. Dreadhorde General is amazing. It's only a standard Lily, of course. I don't think it sees play anywhere else in the entire world, but it really is a card that probably should be in this deck. So we're going to counter this. We're going to assume they actually try to draw again. And I guess we're just going to probably counter that again too. I mean, there's really nothing else we can do. And like I said, I don't really care if they eat any of our walkers after they eat board. We just need to... Well, it's weird because this deck only plays 24 lands. So to flood like this is pretty crazy for us. Normally we like hit 5 or 6 and we kind of stay. I almost think no matter what here, we just dump whatever's on top of our deck to transform our search. Well, I guess we don't have to. So leave that there. Transform that. Okay. Now we should be able to play Magic. Okay, so we'll let that go. Let's counter that. Planeswalker. Done. So we're not going to use our Escanta here because we know we're just going to take the Narset. Now we know they're going to kill it, but we don't care. This just helps us dig through our deck more. I guess we just take another Narset, seeing as how they're probably going to kill the first one. At the end of their turn, we'll then use our Escanta, hopefully finding another Planeswalker, and just pound on the Planeswalker pain. Nah, this isn't cheating. We'll take the Obnoxious. Give me another walker.
Hone your prowess.
Okay, so we'll actually just take Duress here. Because we know we want them to get rid of their Vraska's Contempts. Come on. Just use it. You know you want to use one. Because if they use one, we discard one. Then we just play our Obnoxious and beat them down that way. Okay. Well, we just wait then. No point for us to do anything when they're really drawing bad, so. And the good thing is, too, is we have a replacement in our set for our Narset. Sure, we'll just take the Thought Erasure then. If they're not going to play cards, we're going to either force them to use them or just lose them. Why didn't you board out your freaking Kaya's Raz, dude? Like, what were you doing? Alright, so now this should just be game.
Knowledge is not without price.
Sure. I don't think it matters what Planeswalkers we take anymore.
You'll find.
Like I said, there's really no need for us to even bother playing cards at this point, so.
Suffer the dreams of the damned.
And also, they can only draw one card with the Obnixilis is really good, because it's -2 to kill a creature, they draw a card and take a point of damage. Might not seem super strong, but I promise you, I've had a lot of people just scoop to that out of frustration. And here's where we find the Ugin. Like, for real, if they don't just scoop soon, man, it's going to be a long game of us just slowly trying to do stuff, and I apologize for that, but...
My presence alone guide you.
Ether itself serves me.
We just sit because there's no need for us to do anything.
It is just a small headache.
And every time they use one of these to blow up our spirit tokens, we're at least going to get to draw the card. Blast Zone is sort of like a board wipe for us anyway, so, you know, just profit for us, I suppose. Yeah, I know. If it was mono black, it'd be easier to splash into EDH decks for sure. So we're gonna find another walker here? Sure. I know what you're thinking. Eldritch Reborn's not a planeswalker. You're right. But it'll get us back some of ours that died. Like, it'll get us our Karn back.
Secrets.
Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta target them, not their deck.
You.
We will.
Where you slumber.
Sure. Uh-huh.
Past, present, and
There, we'll even
future
keep our old
are
one.
bound by threads of time.
Try not to think too hard.
Yeah, man. I'll take that swamp. So now the good thing is here. We're gonna put 2 mana into the blast zone for now, just to take it up again.
Truth lies beyond. Behold.
Okay, so they have 8 cards to our 13 cards, so we don't really have to draw cards or play stuff anymore.
By this too.
So we will just sit and do nothing at this point.
I am your inner demon.
Sure. Sure, we'll just take our Karn back because we can. Island. Okay, so since we have 11 cards left in deck here, we're gonna probably quit making tokens soon here with our boy Ugin here, just because that is milling our deck.
Not without pride.
Sure. We're just gonna destroy their search.
Your past is unwritten.
I don't think we have anything with a silver token yet, do we? We'll just make another dude, I guess, then.
Evil cannot withstand a righteous army.
Suffer the dreams of the damned.
I'm not really sure what they're hoping for at this point. Destroy any number of target planeswalkers, huh? I don't even know if I really care. I guess we just try to fight it? Sure. 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 You could have done that like 20 minutes ago, man. I swear.